Hi, everybody. David Perlmutter from Quantum Listing. I'm the founder of this listing service, and thank you very much for joining me today on this webinar. If you have questions during the course of the webinar, and just enter them, please, in the chat box, and we'll get to them. And we're going to use a combination of a slide deck and a live presentation of the website today. If at any time you are uncertain about anything or I'm going too fast, please be sure to let me know. Okay, so our topic today is your quantum listing profile page. And it's a important topic because your profile page is your home base here on Quantum Listing. And most of the things that you are going to do on Quantum Listing, other than searching for properties, will be done from your profile page. So we'd like you to be as familiar with it as possible and know how to use all the features so that you can get a lot out of it and save time when you're doing things on Quantum Listing and get more deals by having a great profile, because you'll look as professional as you already are. Okay, so here we go. So from quantumlisting.com, you can access your profile page from any page by clicking the avatar at the top right. This arrow here is pointing to it. I'm circling it with my cursor. So no matter where you are on Quantum Listing, when you'll see that avatar, click on that, and that will take you to your Quantum Listing profile page, or your home page if you prefer. And I'm assuming that most of you are already Quantum Listing members. If not, when you register, the first page you're going to be brought to is your profile page. And we recommend that you spend some time enhancing your profile page. And we're going to show you how to do it. It's really easy, won't take you a lot of time, and it's worth your while. I've seen lots of, just doing random searches for Quantum Listing members in Google, that people's Quantum Listing profile is showing up on the first page of Google searches. So you want to make sure that when people click through, they're looking for you, they click through, they see the best you that they can. So to edit your profile page, you're going to look for the icon on the left side that looks like a pencil and paper. This arrow here is pointing to it. And you'll click on that, and that will let you edit your profile. So the first thing that we would recommend that you do is add a logo or profile picture. And this logo or profile picture is going to show up not only here on your profile page, but at the top of your listing cards. And also when somebody clicks on your contact information, it'll show up there as well. To add a profile picture or logo, you're going to click on the little camera icon in that circle at the top of the page, and you can grab an image from your computer's directory. You'll also be able to add a bio, and you can make this as elaborate or simple as you want. A lot of people cut and paste what they have on their company websites. That's fine. Just please add something there. The other thing that we highly recommend you do is add links to your company website and social media accounts. And these links are going to show up on your profile people will be able to click them and go to your LinkedIn, your YouTube channel if you have one, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, whatever you've got in ways of social media. We really encourage you to add that here to your profile. And you can see here in this picture that right here is where your social media links are going to show up. And the other thing that I'm going to point out right here is the triangular icon, which is the sharing icon. So now that you've spent all this time enhancing your profile, you want to share it with the world. So if you click that sharing icon, the menu with Google Plus, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and the iframe open up. And just by clicking one of those, you'll be able to post that to your social media or create an iframe link with which you can then post on your website, your blog, anywhere you want. And here is an example of what it looks like when you post your profile on your website. So in addition to being founder of Quantum Listing, I'm also the president of Promoter Properties, and Promoter Properties uses Quantum Listing to serve its listings to its website by clicking that sharing icon that we saw here and pasting it into a page. And the great thing about this is that when I update my listings on Quantum Listing, they're automatically updated on my website. In the old days, before Quantum Listing, I would get a new listing, I would send the information to my designer, who would then send it to the coder. There might be some back and forth on improving the design, and it could take 2 to 3 weeks before that listing was live on my website. Now with Quantum Listing, it happens instantly the day that I go through this, and it's something that I can do myself. So not only does it save me time, it saves me money. You can also use iframes to serve individual listings to a web page, and we can cover that in another webinar. But I just wanted to point that out as well. So let's go have a look at the website right now, and we'll show you the things that we just covered. So here is that icon that we click to edit our account. Now, enterprise accounts can add a company logo as well as a profile picture. If you're an individual account, you just get the logo option. You can change your name here, change your email address, phone number, and add your social media. And if you just click the URL from the browser of your social media account and copy and paste that into here, that works great. And when you're all done, of course, make sure you hit save. So, all right. So that show that, and here are those social media links. I'm not going to. Well, here, we'll click one. I'll go to my LinkedIn page, and here is that sharing icon. And just give you a quick example of sharing this. Sharing a post. Check out my listings. And that's all it takes. So you can get your profile and your listings onto your LinkedIn in no time at all with this. So that is really excellent. So let's head over to back to the slides, and the next thing we want to cover are chats. So if you have you'll notice that there's this icon here. It looks like a speech bubble. If the speech bubble is green, then you have a message. And when you click on it, it opens the chat menu. And this is what the chat menu looks like here, this center image. And then you'll click on the different menu options. And when you see something in green, then you know that's where your chat message is waiting for you. So I believe we can go over and have a look at that. Hang on. So here's that speech bubble. And you hover over it. There's a little tooltip that tells you it's a chat menu, just in case you forget. And let's see if we can find. All right. So Andres, who's one of our team members here at Quantum Listing, has sent me a message. Let's click on it and see what he says. He says, "Hello," and and you can send him a message back just by typing in your message, and he'll get a little green notification. And at the end of the day, if you have chat messages waiting for you, you'll get an email suggesting that you go check your quantum listing profile looking for that chat message. So listings is Quantum Listing's last name. So we're going to spend some time about listings because it's really a very important part of what we're all about here. So on the left-hand side of the page, you'll notice, here, let's go back a second, and I know I forgot to tell you one thing. Make sure that to get back to your profile, you're going to click back to your profile, and this menu down here, I'll call it the left-hand sidebar menu, is where you're going to access a lot of the great functions here on Quantum Listing. All right. So, but you can also access, in addition to your listings, your networks, your groups, your social information, and general account information from your profile page. And we're going to go through these one by one. We'll cover them in the slide deck, and then we'll go back over to the website one by one and see what they look like in real life. So listings is super important, of course, and adding listings is easy. We were born as a mobile app before we were a website, and as a result, we wanted to make sure that it was super easy to add listings to Quantum Listing. And that was deeply embedded in our DNA when we did the website, and wanted to make sure that it was just as easy on the website as it is through the app. So to add a listing, you're going to click this green circle with the plus sign on it on the top right of the page. And there's about half a dozen things that you need to add to the listing. And this is sort of a split screen of the parts. But so we encourage you to add images, pictures, and PDFs are great. You can see that you can add PDFs, JPEGs, or PNG files here, and the more you can add as many pictures as you want. PDFs, you can add multiple PDFs, such as your flyer, floor plans. You need to add a listing title. And when you're adding a listing title, we strongly encourage you to make that title something that somebody who has no idea where your property is or what it is, that they'll understand what it's all about. So if you've got a piece of land in Orlando make sure that you put Orlando, Florida down there in the listing title, because people are going to be seeing this on social media. They're going to be seeing it in the networks, the stream, and you want to make it as easy as possible and descriptive as possible within the character limit of, I think, 60 characters, so that they really understand what it is that they're going to be looking at if they click through to go to the listing detail page from these small listing cards. So if you have an enterprise account, you can select one or more agents over here. You're going to choose here whether it's for lease or for sale, or sublease, or both sale and lease. We have a couple of other options that you can do. Quote, uh, monthly rent, annual rent. Uh, is that later? Sorry. Asset type. So we have about 20 different asset types. The main ones, of course, are retail, office, industrial, land. But we've covered a lot of more specialized asset types. You have to put the price or rent per square feet, and if you want it to be, if you don't want to specify what that is, you can leave it as 0, and it's going to show up as inquire. Same with square feet available. Date available is something that you're going to want to add as well. And a description is not mandatory, but recommended. A lot of times you can copy and paste the description from your PDFs. And one real important thing here is the location. So you're going to enter the property address. We use a Google Maps plugin, so it'll be fairly familiar to you. You'll start typing in the address, and then you'll see the address from a drop-down menu. And it's really important that you click on the address from the drop-down menu, and after you do that, you'll know you've done it right if you see the map populated with the correct address. So after you've added your listing and you've successfully sold or leased it, we recommend that you archive your listings so that they can be easily republished if they become active again. The other thing that you will have, other reasons to archive them, is it's very nice to keep a record of your previous deals. And additionally, you can make private notes on any of your listings or anybody else's listings, and you can reference them even after they've been archived. So also in your listings, so here's listing archive. Saved listings is another thing you'll be able to access in your here on the listing submenu. And saved listings are when you're going through the site, you're doing a search, you'll find a listing that you want to refer to later. You click the little ribbon up at the top of the listing card, and then you can access it by going to your profile page, clicking on listings, and then saved listings. All right, so let's head over to the website and we'll have a look at the listings. Oh, sorry. So first you'll see our active listings here. And there are 12 listings per page. So since we have more than 12 listings, you click on that. You'll go to the additional listings. And our listing archive, which I mentioned, has some of our closed deals. And if you click on that, you can go see all the other information about that deal. And as I mentioned about the notes, you can see that I left a note for myself that it closed on July 30th for $132,000. And so that's a nice thing to have. One thing I didn't neglected to mention is that you can, when you're adding a listing, is that you can add a link to your website on it, or also to a YouTube video of it. All right, so let's go back to our profile page. And saved listings was the other thing that we talked about. And you can see I saved a couple of listings here. If I want to stop seeing these, then I just click on that again and it goes away. And let's head back to our slide deck. So some of you are enterprise agents and some of you are individual users. Enterprise accounts are generally designed for a whole company with multiple agents there, and we're going to look at some of the features available to enterprise agents. If you accidentally select when you're signing up enterprise rather than individual, don't worry about it. There really is no penalty for that. We don't charge you extra for enterprise. It just makes features available to these bigger companies that an individual user won't necessarily need. So let's have a quick look at some of those features. And the first one is, well, to open up the enterprise menu, you're going to click, on where it says Manager Enterprise, and you'll see the submenu open up. Managers and agents are the other items. To add a manager, you're going to click this green button with a plus sign. Might look familiar from when we were adding listings. And a manager is somebody who is going to help the admin with the workflow here. So they can add listings, they can add enterprise agents, and you can have as many managers as you want. Managers are not typically going to show up in the drop-down list of agents if you're adding multiple agents to a listing. And sorry, agents, you can add agents the same way that you add managers. I thought we had a slide for that, but looks like we don't. And let's go over to the website and we'll have a look at the enterprise. So you don't need to close the menu, but you can close menus. Enterprise, so here's managers. And as I mentioned, you click that plus sign. You can add a profile picture for them, first name, last name, email address. Anything else is optional. Then you click Add Manager, and you're good to go. Managers, there is no extra charge for managers in Quantum Listing. So invite everybody on the team who is not a broker or agent who helps with the work to become a manager. Agents, so you'll click on agents to see your agents and to manage your agents. You can edit your agents by clicking the three little dots here. And you can add a profile picture as well as change their email address or phone number. If you wanted to add a new agent, click on the green circle with a plus sign and add that same information. So pretty simple, and you can see there's a consistency in the way that adding things works throughout the website. as well as editing and deleting. These three little dots at the top right of a listing card from your profile page uh, are also going to open up a menu of different options there. All right, so let's have a look now at networks. Oh, I think we had a slide slip there. Okay, so sorry about that. Connect with users through networks. So networks are kind of an interesting feature. This, what you're looking at here, is what a network admin is generally going to see. But quantum listing networks allow brokers in a geographic area or asset class interest group to have a website dedicated to their listings, or a web page dedicated to their listings. Brokers are able to search for listings of interest with ease and efficiency through these networks, because everything that you are interested in is going to be findable, searchable in one place. And that's also where you're going to be able to look through your fellow brokers who are on Quantum Listing and in your network also. And we're going to get to this in a bit, but following brokers is facilitated. If you're looking for people who are in your area, you can find them really easily through your network and then follow them, but we'll get to that in a bit. And network admins are going to be able to send their networks email blasts. So if we haven't been doing this so far, but in the future we'll be doing things like sending a weekly blast that will tell you who the new members of your network are that week and any new listings. So it will really be great in terms of keeping you up to date on things that are happening in your area. And the network admins also have access to network analytics, which they may choose to distribute to the members in the future as well. So to see what's going on in your networks, you're going to click on networks to open up the network submenu, and you will view your network listings by clicking on network listings. And if you're a member of multiple networks, you're going to be able to select which network you want to look at the listings for. The default is to show you all your different networks. And then you can further filter it either by listing title. You can search for a listing by title, asset type, trade type, and sort the listings. And network news, which is another option in your network, is going to show you the latest changes that have been made in your network. And again, if you're a member of multiple networks, you'll be able to drill down to the network that you are particularly interested in seeing what has changed. And those changes are going to happen in real time as well. So here we are. We're clicking on network. And here's my networks. One thing, you can see that I've joined 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 networks. These are in the geographic areas that I'm particularly interested in. And there are also networks for every other state. And if you want to start following more than the network that we initially assign you, and we assign you a network originally based on either where your phone number is if you don't have listings, or where your listings are if you do have listings. And say we get it wrong, or you just do business in multiple areas, or you just have an interest in multiple areas, you have the option to connect to any other network that we have. And you simply click on connect, and and what happens then is the network admin will get a request to admit you to the network, and we will almost always say okay if there were some sort of company network that you weren't part of that company, then we might not say okay. But otherwise, we're going to say okay and let you in. Network listings, you can search by location. So, and again, we're looking now at all my different networks. So you can see that there are things in Texas and New York and New Jersey. And so if I wanted to just look at my networks in, what happened there? Hang on a second. I think what happened? Oh, if you have somebody in your network who is from another geographic area, when you join a network, you take all your listings with you. So occasionally, like we saw just before in the Westchester network, we'll go back, you see that there are some listings in South Carolina here. So the explanation about that is there's a member in your network who is from South Carolina. So say I really just want to see what's going on in White Plains, New York. I'll start typing in White Plains, click it from the drop-down menu, and that brings me to the stuff that is just in my network. And then if I want to refine the search a little bit, I can click on an asset type. If I want to find retail for sale, again, refine the search, and you can keep on going until you find exactly what it is that you want. So that would network listing. So network news we talked about briefly, and again, we can select which network you want to look at, and when you see somebody's added a listing, you can click on their name. It'll go to their profile, and while we're here and we see this nice green follow button here, let's talk about following for a second. When you join Quantum Listing and we assign you to these networks, it's a great idea to see who you know and to follow the people you know, because you're then going to be able to get to their listings, and we'll show you how, by just going to the people you're following, click on their name, you drill down and see what they have. So we're going to follow Joe. Nice guy, good broker from upstate New York and also Florida. So groups are next. So groups are a newer feature. We added groups a couple of months ago, and groups are different from networks in that you can start your own group really easily. You can join groups and it doesn't take any intervention by a group admin. And the groups are a little bit more intimate. They're smaller. The networks that we've started are generally statewide, or if we have a lot of listings in a particular area, we might do a regional network. But these groups are really more tailor-made for you. And when you're doing adding a group, you give it a group name, you'll give it a description, and of course, the way you add a group is by clicking the green circle with the plus sign. So when you are on the left-hand menu sidebar, you're going to see this groups right here. You're going to, if you wanted to join a group, and you'll see more of this when we get to the website. You just click on the plus sign here. If you want to learn more about a group before you join it, you click on the little eye icon. And we've created wants groups for every state, and we've also created groups for all the different asset classes. So if you're a broker from Missouri who's interested in golf course real estate, join the golf course group. If you are a broker in that does industrial. You might want to join the industrial group in addition to your local group. We do assign you to groups based on your geographic area, and those are the wants groups. And those wants groups have become sort of a bulletin board for things that you're looking for. You may not see it here, you may not see it on other listing websites, but it's a way to let folks know that you're looking for stuff. So when you click the plus sign to join a group, you're going to get this message there on the left side of the screen. And if you want to start your group, you're going to give it a name, as I mentioned before, add some information about what it's all about, and click create. And then there's a group feed, similar to the network news, that will give you an idea of things that have happened in your group, people joining your group, and things like that. And then you'll have a group members page if you're a group admin, and you can disconnect people from your group. You can add people to your group. You can invite people from outside Quantum Listing into your group and to join Quantum Listing. You can see your group listings. And let's go have a look at groups on the website. So I'm clicking on the avatar to get back to my profile page. So here are the different sub-menu items for groups. Feeds. So you can see that Promoter Properties has been busy making some changes there. And you can go way back in time to see what other people are doing as well. My groups is where you're going to see the groups that you're already a member of. And you also will be able to join other groups. Now, if you're the group admin and you're starting the group, you can decide, like these two folks did here, that they're going to make their group private groups. So only they can invite people to those groups and nobody else. And if you also are, if you're part of a group, an open group like this one, you also, the group admin can decide whether he wants to be the only one who can invite people to join the group, or if he's willing to let other people invite members to the group. So if you're a member of multiple groups, you can see who is in any particular group, where you can look at all of your group members. And again, this might be a great opportunity to find somebody that you want to follow. And our group listings, you can see which group that you want to look at the listings for. And you can drill down by location, asset type, trade type, and sort as well by the size of the space and price. So that brings us to the end of our groups. And let's talk about our social features. So as you may recall, we've been following a couple of people during the course of our webinar today. And anybody that you follow, you'll be able to see in this social area. And not only can you see the people that you are following, but those that are following you as well. And when you follow other users, you're going to be able to really easily find their listings in your stream. So say you're following a lot of people, you don't want to go through each individual person to see what the newest stuff that they've added is. So this stream is going to be a great way for you to see the latest changes that have happened, the latest listings that have been added to those that you are following. So let's hop over to the website. So followers, here are the folks that are following me, or Promoter Properties, I should say. And here are those that I'm following. Not sure why not everybody's showing up here, but maybe it's the agents. And here's the stream that's going to show you where all the recent listings are that have been added, and they're done by the most recent listing. All right, the last section on your profile page, and it looks like we're going to be able to bring this webinar in on time, is the info section. So from the info section, you're going to be able to see your listing analytics, the notes, the private notes that we mentioned earlier that you've taken on your own listings or other people's listings, and also listing reports that you've done. And then the last thing that you're going to be able to see is syndication channels. So if you want to add a note about a listing, you're going to go to a listing card, meaning and click on it to go to the detail page, and you'll see this little pencil and paper, pencil icon. You click on that, you write your note, you click save, boom, you're done. You'll find it back there in your info section. See, right there. And you can edit and delete these notes as well. Listing reports, as you go through Quantum Listing, you'll have an opportunity to add any listing to a report. You can do a report based on search results. You can do a report of your own listings that you want to send to a customer. These listing reports are great in that you can download them. You can use an iframe to post them to your website or blog, another way to get your listings onto your website, in addition to getting it via your profile or individual listings. And the pictures and titles of these listing reports are hyperlinked back to your listing on Quantum Listing or to whoever's listing. You can download them so you can save them for later, and you can email them as well. And then the last thing on that info section are syndication channels. Right now, we have incoming syndication from Build Out and Sharp Launch, and we're pushing out listings, but you have to set up the syndication yourself. We're not just doing it wholesale. It's something that you have to opt into. Right now we're doing it to Levitt Digital. Levitt Digital has a terrific network of 500 local news sites throughout the country, and they're going to be expanding that to close to 2,000 by the end of next year. And if you need help and have other questions, we have great resources. We'll go and look at that info section in a second, but we are running out of time, so if anybody has to leave, I want to just make sure that you know how you can get some additional help if you have it. You go to the How It Works section, which is available from the top of every page on Quantum Listing. You can use Intercom, which is the blue circle on the bottom right of every page of Quantum Listing with a little speech bubble in it. Or, of course, you can email us at support@Quantum Listing. So let's go quickly and have a look at the info section. So analytics, as I mentioned, so this shows you how many listing views you've had. Each individual listing, by the way, has a view count as well. You can see how many times people have looked at your account. You can see how many times they've looked at your agents. This is for enterprise. You can see if your profile has been shared, if you've had any listing shares, and any of these you can see by a week, month, or all time. And for those that are appropriate, you can see how they've been shared by email or social media. PDF exports are for the PDFs that Quantum Listing has created, and PDF downloads are for the PDFs you have downloaded to Quantum Listing. The notes are right there, and those are all the notes that we've got saved right now. This is a teaser for the future. We are going to be having comparables available to you, but only I have that right now. Sorry, folks. But and then syndication channels, which I mentioned earlier, and this shows that I'm willing. You can once you've connected to Levitt Digital, and the way you do that is you sign up for an account on their site, and then you connect it over here, and you can decide whether you want to have all your listings pushed out to Levitt Digital, or you just want to have a select listings, and you will do that by opting in on each individual listing when you're adding it or editing it. So that is the end of our webinar for today. If you're not a member, or you are a member and your trial is coming to an end, we want to remind you how reasonable our pricing is. It's only $79.99 a year per agent for individuals or enterprise users. Enterprise users are capped out at $899.99 a year. If you have multiple agents, you only have to pay for the first 12, basically. And that's for unlimited listings. And let's see. If you need more information, we're always happy to provide it. You can send me an email, David@QuantumListing. You can call me, that's my direct line. And thank you for the opportunity to present Quantum Listing's profile page to you today. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Julia and Andres for all their help in preparing today's webinar. And that concludes our prepared program.